Welcome back on this college football Saturday. Both campaigns are trying to score with undecided voters in appearances today at two marquee games. Nicole Killian has the story from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Ball faithful sported Alabama crimson and Georgia bulldog red, ready for the primetime game and former President Donald Trump.
I think he's great. I think he's fantastic. I think the country needs him.
The former president was also greeted by this new ad from Vice President Kamala Harris.
Champions know it's anytime, any place. But losers, they whine and waffle.
Egging Trump on for another debate.
If you got something to say it to my face.
The former president in Wisconsin earlier ignored the latest challenge, but continued to hammer Harris on immigration after her trip to the southern border in Arizona Friday.
Kamala Harris can never be forgiven for her erasing our border, and she must never be allowed to become president of the United States.
In Michigan, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz interrupted preps for next week's vice presidential debate with a stop at the Big House to cheer on his home state Golden Gophers against the Wolverines.
Senator J.D. Vance also took a break from debate preparations, campaigning in Pennsylvania. That's where Vice President Harris and Governor Walz are set to launch a joint bus tour next week after Tuesday's debate. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Well, a quick reminder, Republican vice presidential nominee Senator J.D. Vance and Democratic vice presidential nominee Governor Tim Walz are teeing off for the first and only VP debates on CBS News, which is scheduled to begin at 7 p.m. next Tuesday.